Hey everyone, it's your girl TeraMichelle. Welcome back to my channel, Opinionated Scents, our safe space to discuss all things fragrance, whether we like them or not. Today we're going to be discussing my favorite chocolate fragrances and my favorite coffee fragrances. I was thinking about making this two different videos, but I don't have a top 10 for either, so we're just going to go ahead and roll with it. Let's jump right into the video. Starting off with the note of chocolate, we're going to talk about Fantasy Intense from the house of Britney Spears. Britney Spears has got to be the queen of celebrity fragrances. Sometimes I go back and forth between her and Paris Hilton, but Britney Spears just gives it to us. I'm saying, if you have tried her fragrances, you know some of them are really, really good, and they can be for the grown and sexy. This fragrance here has a beautiful note of pear, kiwi, and lychee, along with white chocolate. It's just a really pretty fragrance. There's also jasmine in here, and I can't even lie. The note of jasmine in here, this is nice. I really do enjoy this fragrance. There's also some patchouli and some woody notes. I think there's some orris root in here. There's a lot that goes on in this fragrance, but for the purpose of this list, we're going to talk about the white chocolate note. I really enjoy it, and I get it right up front with those fruits, with that tartness from the lychee and the beautifulness of the kiwi and the pear. So it's an unusual pairing, but then when you think about it, I don't like white chocolate in real life, but I don't mind the note that's in this. But if I had some milk chocolate, I've had chocolate covered strawberries. So I'm sure that's not too far removed from having some sliced up fruit and some chocolate. I don't know. It works well together. Next up, we have another white chocolate note, and this one vibes a lot like the Britney Spears Fantasy Intense. Instead of having the kiwi and the lychee, this one has quince or quince, however you pronounce that fruit. This is English Laundry's signature for her. So this also has musk, and the familiarity with the Fantasy Intense comes in again with the white chocolate, the woody notes, the jasmine, the orris root. It just vibes similar, but they don't smell exactly the same. Pretty fragrance. I really like the sweetness that the white chocolate adds to this, because it's not a sugar sweet, it's a white chocolate sweet. And if you've ever had white chocolate, or if you're familiar with being around it, maybe you've worked in a fudgery or something like that, you know that distinct smell. So I do really like this fragrance. Longevity and projection on this are not the best, but it's so inexpensive that you can easily throw it in your purse and just top up throughout the day. The smell is one of a kind though, y'all. If you just like pretty for the sake of being pretty, this is a fragrance you should get your nose on. This next fragrance makes a lot of top 10 vanilla fragrance lists here on YouTube, and it is stunning with the amount of vanilla in it. Vanilla and tonka bean, there's cedar, there's some Bulgarian rose, but there's a dark chocolate note in here that I absolutely love that just pairs beautifully with the vanilla and the tonka bean. I can't get enough. And there's also lychee in this one. So there's something about having a tart fruit with chocolate that just works in fragrances. This is from the house of Van Cleef and Arpels, and this is Orchidee Vanille. Such a beautiful fragrance. It is stunning, and I'm sure you've heard all about it. I do think it's been discontinued, so it may be hard to find for a good price, but if you can get your nose on it, if you can get your hands on it, if you can get your bank account on it, I would swoop it up. But again, don't pay too much. Sometimes these companies just discontinue stuff to send us into a frenzy. It is beautiful, but a lot of people have projection and longevity issues with this. I do not. But because so many people say it, you know I got to bring it to your attention. Again, for the note of chocolate, it is absolutely stunning. Next up, we're going to stop off at the House of Mugler, and we're going to talk about Angel Muse Eau de Toilette formulation. So this one is slightly more citrus. I do believe that there's mandarin orange and lemon in here, as well as that beautiful chocolate note and some passion fruit. So again, there's something about these really beautiful exotic fruits that pair very well with the note of chocolate. There's also some caramel in here and some vetiver, and I think some akigala wood. So, you know, this is so stunning for those people Oh, this is just, okay. I am obsessed with Angel Muse Eau de Parfum. However, if that one is too much for you, it's too loud, it's too thick, it's too decadent, it's too rich, this is a very good compromise. And I know some people who can't do the Eau de Parfum, which is a top 10 for life of mine, but this one is very beautiful. And there's enough of variation in the notes that, yeah, if you like where the EDP was going, but it was a little bit too much, get your nose on this one. It's really beautiful. This next fragrance is also a white chocolate note. You're going to get your white chocolate paired with some caramel, some Madagascar vanilla, some sandalwood, and some cedar. Again, chocolate and woody notes and vanilla. It's just so delicious. This is from Penrose and it is called Secret Genius. Just a beautiful fragrance. It's really easy breezy, so Netflix and chill. It is just pretty and it's yummy and it's like gourmand. So you definitely will smell like a snack with this one. I have a backup bottle of this, a bigger one. But I absolutely love this fragrance for its simplicity. There's not a whole lot going on, but what is there is absolutely delicious. Before I give you guys my number one chocolate fragrance in my collection, I do want to bring up two honorable mentions. Okay, these fragrances, and I'm sorry, there's a train coming by. You guys are used to it at this point. But these two fragrances don't actually have chocolate, the word chocolate, in their note list. However, there is cacao. And both of these fragrances pull so chocolatey to me. So from the House of Penrose, which is the same house that does Secret Genius, we're going to talk about Gilded Fox. Oh, this is so beautiful. It's a boozy chocolate, a boozy, woody chocolate fragrance. Dark chocolate, there's rum, there's cedar, there's a whole bunch going on in Gilded Fox. There's also a note of butter in there. For those of you who know me, you know I hate butter. In real life, I won't eat it. I don't want to look at it. Don't put it nowhere near me. I don't want to smell it, blah, 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 blah. But I actually like it in that fragrance. So the next one is Hugo Boss The Scent Private Accord for Her. And this is one of my favorite fragrances to smell on the face of the planet. I am obsessed with this fragrance. Those of you who were rocking with me when I started my channel last year heard all about this in September, October, November, December. I just could not get enough of this. So this smells like a Tootsie Roll, an orange candy Tootsie Roll pop. It's absolutely stunning. When you think of mandarin orange and chocolate, I know you're like, ew, what is that? It's perfection, truly perfection. But again, neither one of these technically have the word chocolate in their list, so I'm just making them honorable mentions, even though they pull more chocolatey than a few of these other ones. This house might have snuck up into my top 10 favorite house list. I'm not sure. But as I'm making these videos, they're always making an appearance, sometimes 2, 3, and 4 times on one list. Of course, I'm talking about the House of Dua. My number one favorite chocolate fragrance is their inspired version of Guerlain's Gourmand Coquine from their Private Arts and Materials collection. This is called Dark Chocolate Rum and Vanilla. Baby, you're going to get your dark chocolate. You're going to get your cacao, your rum, your vanilla, your spices, your rose, your pepper. There you have it. This fragrance, if you've ever smelled Gourmand Coquine from the Private Arts and Materials collection from the House of Guerlain, then you already know. And if you love dark chocolate and rum and cacao, like just, this is so, yes, yes. I would marry this if it were legal, but I digress. Dark chocolate, rum, and vanilla for the win, my number one favorite chocolate fragrance in my entire collection. Now let's talk all things coffee. We're going to start off with the House of Britney Spears again because she's just that good, y'all. This is Britney Spears' Private Show. This fragrance, come on, you're going to get your whipped cream, you're going to get your coffee, your dulce de leche too. I think there's jasmine some back in here, and there's some nectarine. Y'all know how I feel about the note of nectarine. There's a lot going on in this fragrance, but pretty much you can sum this fragrance up for me with the whipped cream, the coffee, and the dulce de leche. This is such a beautiful fragrance. It's a celebrity fragrance. It does not cost that much when they have it in stock. I know she has a lot of stuff going on with her personal life, which is probably why everybody's pretending they don't have it anymore. But yeah, this is a pretty fragrance. It's a very beautiful, inexpensive, delicious, yummy, gourmand fragrance. Next up, we have a very beautiful fragrance with notes of vanilla, coffee, caramel, and patchouli. There's also some pear, some iris, and some orange blossom to make it a well-rounded, balanced experience. However, y'all, Dolce & Gabbana, the only one. There are some people who don't pick up the caramel. There are some people who don't pick up the coffee. I get them both. And again, with that vanilla and that patchouli and even that iris and orange blossom, the pear is there, but it's not the star of the show, guys. This is so sexy. Caramel and coffee, just at its finest. Dolce & Gabbana, the only one. Next, we have a single note coffee fragrance that I talk about all the time. It's from the House of Layered or Be Layered. This is called Arabica Roast. Guys, listen, I gifted this to my daughter because she's a layering fanatic. And she's already gone through way more in like the month that she's had it than I did in the year that I've had it. Because I don't layer and because I don't want to smell like just straight up coffee, it made sense when I gifted her the Caramel Overdose to also give her this one so she could make one of the best, most banging layering combos you could ever come across. But what I'm not going to do is sit up here and act like this is not one of the best coffee fragrances I've ever smelled in my life. It is stunning. It makes me want Starbucks. That's also another reason why I gave it to her, because I was trying to give up Starbucks and having this around was not going to help with that. So if you love single note fragrances, or if you really truly want a beautiful coffee note fragrance, this is one to try. Again, that's Arabica Roast from the House of Be Layered or Layered or whatever they're going by nowadays. This next fragrance is the newest flanker in a line of fragrances we have all loved for years. However, with this line, that combo of orange blossom and jasmine sambac for me takes over too soon and is too loud, when the reason I come and visit this line is for that coffee note. I'm talking about Yves Saint Laurent's Black Opium Extreme. So with the original Black Opium, it's those floral notes. They come in too soon for me. Not enough coffee, not strong enough, not long enough. And the same with Nuit Blanche and all the rest. Now, I do still own Neon, and I do love the coffee note in that. However, that one is sweeter, you know? It's different from the original and then the Intense, because that's really what I'm comparing here. The Intense was not intense at all. The coffee note was not amped up the way I want it. However, with Extreme, you get it. You get that bourbon vanilla, you get that cacao, you get that coffee and that patchouli. And then later on, because the coffee and the cacao do stay around in this one a lot longer, they project much better. The longevity is just, listen, I really, really, really love this. I had a travel size of it and I talked about it. I told you guys if I found it on sale, I was going to get me a little 1 ounce, and I did. So Black Opium Extreme. I love the coffee note, love the loudness, and then you get to the orange blossom and the jasmine sambac. I guess they're just not going to make a flanker without those in it, but this one passes the TeraMichelle test. This next fragrance has a coffee note in it, but it is not as prominent as the cacao or the tonka bean or the mandarin orange that also appear in this. There's also some osmanthus, but I had to pick it because I do pick up the coffee in it, however so slight. This is Hugo Boss's scent, Private Accord for her. Again, this is more of an orange chocolate Tootsie Roll type of fragrance, but there is a coffee note. And if I pick up on the coffee note, I have to put it in there. Also, again, this is one of my favorite fragrances to smell. Like, the actual smell is so addictive to me. So addictive that you could eat. Again, if you watch my videos from last year, you guys saw me go through this, a smaller bottle of this in like a month. I just could not stop wearing it. I didn't care. Everything else sat back here on these shelves until I was done. because it was that serious for me. So, I love this fragrance. My number one favorite coffee fragrance in my collection is one that isn't the loudest on the coffee note, but the amount of notes in here and their uniqueness just blend so well together. And the coffee, the milk, and the tonka bean, and the cypriol oil. This is Coffee Break from Maison Margiela Replica line. This smells so fantastic. It's so fantastic. And that's pretty much all I can say. Look up the notes. And as you read the notes, try to imagine what that smells like and then multiply it times 100. I really am a fan. I wish I would have got a full bottle, but again, I'm trying to not get full bottles until I can, but that's Replica Coffee Break. That's it for my favorite chocolate fragrances and my favorite coffee fragrances. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I absolutely need to know what your favorite coffee fragrances are and your favorite chocolate fragrances are. Please drop them in the description box below. This is going to be a really nice conversation, and this is the perfect time of year to talk about it. While you're here, please don't forget to click the like button. Please subscribe to the Terra Squad, join the family, and also click that notification bell so that you never miss any of my future uploads. As always, I cannot wait to talk to you guys in the comments. But until then, bye.